Alright, what is up guys? Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of work on the Eclipse. I actually got to go pick it up, it's not here. I got some stuff over here for the Eclipse. This is just a gauge bezel, but I got some aluminum, some aftermarket gauges, a toilet pipe coupler thing I'm going to be using, some cleaner stuff, some paint, some Rain-X anti-fog, microfibers, some Febreze, just random stuff. One of these has a hose in it for the intake, some nuts and bolts for the grounding straps on the battery, random stuff. These gauges are the biggest thing. I have a few updates that I need to make as far as what I've done to the Eclipse, because I had a bit of an issue with the GoPro, which I'll get into in a little bit. Go get in the Golf, run out, get a few things, and then get the Eclipse, because the Eclipse is a pain in the ass to drive around town. Then I'll come back here, give you guys an update on it, because there's a lot of work that got done and footage that got lost or, well, ruined. Let's get out there and swap cars. Alright, so I am back now with the Eclipse, and a few things that I did on the inside of the car first. I don't even think there's much. One thing I did do is I de-stained all of the seats to lift all the crap out of them, and Febrezed the entire inside of this car to get rid of the smell that was in here. And it's almost 100% gone. The only overpowering smell left is fuel, because this thing still runs like shit. And then I removed the overflow container and the antenna from the rear of the car. The new hatch is on, the tint's shot. I'll show you what it looks like from the outside, but everything on it works. The wiper works, the brake lights all work, and the wing and everything. I haven't been able to test the defroster yet. That's all I've done interior wise, I think. I don't think I've touched anything else. Looks absolutely beautiful on there. The paint on this hatch is in great shape. The wing has this one little spot on it. I don't know if it's just paint broken or if the fiberglass is damaged, but I'm not even that worried about it. The tint doesn't look that bad from the outside. I got these holes here from where the old wings and the antenna used to be that I need to fill. I got the new center light, which now I've got a full set of stock tail lights. The center light's not in the greatest of shape, but it was super cheap. As you can see, it's got scratches all over it, but it was like 30 bucks, which is really cheap for one of these. I'm gonna keep my eyes out for a nice clean one, but I got a full set of stock tail lights now. Really happy with how the car looks from the back compared to when I originally got this car. It looks so much better, and I got the matching color gas door off of that Talon also that you guys saw in the junkyard video. And there was a couple little things I did under the hood. I don't know if I showed you guys that. Yeah, I got the different intake tube on. You guys haven't seen that. That used to be on this car, and what I did is there's a little fitting spot right there. It wasn't threaded, so I took a tap threads into it and put a barb fitting in it, bolted it back on, used this Sport JDM intake coupler from the Dakota, put this intake together, and then I got the catch can on here. Unfortunately, I didn't get to make a video on that, but at least I've done that once in the past. It doesn't have a drain plug in it right now. I actually got a bolt to replace that stupid barb it came with so I can actually plug it properly. I got a new hose to replace this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the intake like right here, rotate it so this barb is sitting closer towards the actual can itself. I'm going to put the plug in and we'll be all good there. Alright, wow, it is warm here in the garage. I just opened the door so it'll air out, but it's hot. I actually went and bought a new Dremel. If you guys will remember from way back when I did the hood exit exhaust on the Dakota, which was almost a year ago now, my old rotary tool died on me right before that. Like, it got wet or something and the motor locked up. I don't even remember what happened exactly. So I finally bought a new rotary tool so I can actually cut stuff. These are the little tiny ones. These aren't the full like 2.5 inch or whatever size. These will fit perfectly inside of this little trim piece. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have the gauges on the bottom and my radio up on top. And I'm going to take this piece of aluminum sheet that I bought, cut it out to fit this shape, pre-drill a few holes. I got some screws to go in, bolt it to this plate, cut the square out for the radio, slide it in, and then I'm going to trace out the holes that these gauges go in, cut them out with the rotary tool as well, and then I'll be able to put the gauges in, have the radio mounted properly, have proper mounting gauges that'll look pretty good. So I got obviously water temp, oil voltage, and oil pressure. The oil pressure one will solve my oil leak issue. The oil pressure sender at the back of the head is leaking oil everywhere. That'll fix that. I'll just get rid of the stock pressure sender altogether. Voltage, so I have an accurate voltage reading, and then water temperature, so I'll finally have a proper accurate water temperature reading. Basically I tell everybody that it's either telling you you're cold, your operating temp, or you're going to blow a head gasket. That's basically the 3 settings I have. I'm going to cut everything and get them all mounted in the car. I don't think I'm going to hook them up tonight because I'm going to run out of time before I have to go to work. Hopefully, since this is a cheap non-wired blade, it won't blow up on me. I'm just cutting aluminum, so it shouldn't have too hard of a time cutting through this. There goes blade number 1. Got stuck in something, and there's the other half of it got stuck in there. I'm gonna go see if I can find my good blades that aren't complete trash, because this thing was also having a hard time cutting. But that's pretty awesome. Let me see if I can. Yeah, clean in half. Sweet. Let's go get some real blades. Alright, so not only did I find my nice blades, heavy duty cut off wheels, but I also found a little tiny drill bit, which will be perfect for drilling into the aluminum for my bolts to go through. I don't think it's what I'm going to need to drill the tiny starter holes into this plastic, because this plastic's kind of hard and brittle, so I doubt that the screw is going to be able to self-tap itself into there when I have to get a little tiny starter hole going. Might have to go buy a belt for that, but at least I have this one. I got the drill charging for it. Part of that issue with the blade snapping might have been my fault, because I cut it kind of crooked and the blade was getting stuck in there. So hopefully I can get it hogged out enough and it won't blow another blade up on me. Or I might have to try and go in from the backside. We'll see. There goes blade number 2. Bam, there it is. It needs cleaned up a little bit, clean these burrs off of it and whatnot, but plate's done. So what I gotta do is I need to grab the little basket that holds the radio, and I need to take it and trace it out so I can cut that square hole into it, and then I need to take this and trace these holes out so I can cut them as well, so I can put the gauges in there. And I don't think I'm going to have time to put the gauges in tonight, because I do have work tonight, unfortunately, but I will be able to get the radio mounted. I'm going to go and put that window treatment stuff on the window, because it's supposed to rain in the morning when I'm going to be leaving, so I'm going to need that anyway. And I'll get the intake and the catch can situation sorted. Alright, so I was actually able to get this thing bolted up already, and what's nice is that this plastic trim has like a curve to it, so it'll actually keep the aluminum a little bit more rigid. But I was worried that once I started cutting the hole out for this, that it would become way too loose and wouldn't have enough sturdiness to hold itself together. But on the plus side, I definitely have plenty of room to get both the radio and the gauges in. It's going to be a little bit of a tight fit, but there won't be a bunch of empty space, so it'll look pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and trace both of these out. I'm going to trace the radio first and then trace the gauges, start cutting those, and then I'll be able to get the radio mounted, get this back in the car, mount the radio. There it is, cut. It's not exactly perfect, but it holds the radio very, very sturdy, and it is working beautifully. And I'm going to end up having to go and cut the holes for the gauges later on, but I wanted to just test fit it and see how it works. Obviously I got this gap right here. On the other side it looks good, but when you look at it from like right here, you can see the gap. But it looks better than the radio just laying down in here on the ground. So now, like I said, all that's left is to cut holes for the gauges, but I'm not going to do that tonight. Tonight all I'm going to do is I'm going to treat the windshield with that spray cleaner stuff, or the, not the spray cleaner stuff, the anti-fog, and I think I'm going to call it there. I'm not going to get to the intake tonight. I just ran out of time. This took way too long. So I'll get back with you guys whenever I get back to working on this car. Alright guys, it's been an entire week literally since I touched the Eclipse. It is now Saturday, the weekend after last weekend, which was Sunday when I was working on the car, so it's been a while. I've had crappy weather and I've been busy. I'm gonna grab the bike, I'm gonna ride up to the gas station and get something to drink because it's hot. It's really hot, that's the other reason I haven't been working on anything. So, wow, it's dark in here, let's head back out. I'm gonna grab the bike, ride up there. I hate driving that car right now because of the ECU problems. So I'm just gonna ride the bike up, just down the road. And then I'm gonna come back and get to work. Alright, so I am back. Got my usual Polar Pop here. And now, the special surprise for the Eclipse is these. These are 18-inch wheels. I have no idea what brand. In fact, it says on the cap right there, but I can't read it. These are in way better shape than what is currently on my car. And these are actually plastic dipped at the moment, or peel coated or whatever, but it's actually pretty well done. These tires are in way better shape than the tires on my car, even though a couple of them are getting pretty worn down, but they aren't dry rotted or cracked or anything like that, or have cords popping out of them. Like I said, these are 18 by 8, I believe. And let me see if I can figure out what size tires on here. 225 40 R18, so they're decent sized width on them as well. They're actually the same width as what's currently on my car. So I'm going to go ahead and put these on. My hub rings, I got one right here, I took it out earlier, do fit in these wheels, so that's good. So let's go ahead, throw these on and see what the car looks like with a fresh set of wheels. Alright, so the wheel's off right now. I'm just checking to see what kind of shape my tie rods and stuff are in, and these tie rods actually don't look bad. The boots are ripped on them though, but they don't have any slop in them. One thing I have noticed is this ball joint, or whatever this is up here, is pretty worn out. This upper ball joint is destroyed. That is gnarly. Hopefully you can see how much it's moving, but chunk. Yeah, not cool. This right here is like busted off, so it's zip tied into place. That's cool. Really cool. Okay. Well, I might end up just welding this tab into place for now, so there's not a zip tie holding it, but that explains a lot. That's probably what this car makes a really bad clunking noise every time I hit bumps, and that is probably what I've been hearing, and that would explain why a bump steer is so bad too. So anyway, let's go get this other set of wheels on here and take a look. Alright, well there it is. That looks so much cleaner on here, and I did a quick shakedown with the wheel on there, and I couldn't get anything else to vibrate or do anything weird, so I'm pretty sure that it's just that ball joint there, and then the other one up front on the other side might be like that. But man, Those wheels clean this car so much. There's a few spots where they got like overspray on the tires and whatnot, but this looks a million times better than that crap. So I'm gonna go get the other 4 on, or at least get this side on and set it down. See how it looks like sitting on the ground. Those look so much better on there. Feel the wheel gap a little bit better too. Man, I wonder if it still sits level. They are a little bit taller as well, which is good. I'll have better ground clearance. Now I gotta go do the other side, and then we can go get to a couple other things. Alright, well, it's actually been quite a while. I don't even remember where I left off in the video, but I actually got sidetracked and I cleaned my shed out, brought all my tools out and cleaned a bunch of trash out of there. I just gotta put tools away, but I figured I'd bring them all out since I'm gonna be using them to work on the Eclipse. And it's such a beautiful night. I went out, got the bike out, and just cruised around town for about a half hour. Made it about 15 minutes in before I busted the phone out and started playing Pokemon Go. But went and did that, and now feel motivated, ready to go work on a car. I need to go get some more lights. I'm gonna hopefully be able to do a decent job filming at night. I've got the one big spotlight that I've used, which I think you guys have seen. It's sitting right here. I've got this thing, which does pretty well. I think the batteries are going in it though. I gotta get new batteries. And I think I'm gonna buy a couple little tiny magnetic lights to like stick inside of the car and stuff. But I got some stuff laying all over the place. When I cleaned my shed out, I found a whole bunch of wrenches, screwdrivers. I found a bag of zip ties, which I was super pumped about. And there's more screwdrivers that I found down there. Here's some of the, found pliers and Allen wrench, screwdrivers everywhere. Found my rubber mallet. Oh wait, I had that earlier, but this was in there. I found it earlier. That's what ended up making me go through it. Found another hammer. Now, we'll run to Walmart, grab a couple of cheap lights, grab some batteries for the big light. I've got that one light that I hang on the door outside, so hopefully we'll be able to put a decent video for you guys together here. This video is going to end up being really long, kind of a chill video though, so it'll be alright. I am now back, got some lights. I picked up this thing, got batteries for the big one. It's way brighter than it was. Got that one hanging up there, and then I'm wearing this cap light, and it's not overly great, but it actually helps a little bit, especially if I'm like walking around the car trying to find something. First thing, intake. I need to cut this in half about right here so I can take that and rotate it and have the barb down there for the catch can facing up so it's not, you know, flexing super hard to get down there. I'm also going to put the old air filter on because I cleaned that, and then I'm going to paint it red, get rid of this ugly blue color, put it all back together, and then we'll be done there. And I'm going to jack the car up because I think I have to jack the car up to get to the oil pressure sender, which is, ow, where I'm going to be tapping the oil pressure gauge into. Yeah, my best bet is probably going to be to go underneath the car because it's like underneath the intake manifold. Car's still running. ECU is still a piece of shit. It doesn't like to start and run, but once you've got it had it running for a minute, it sorts itself out pretty well. Oh, quality screwdrivers. You guys just saw that. Piece of shit. That's better. Gotta go get the angle grinder. Here's what I successfully did here in the shed. When I said I was cleaning it, there's the boxes I dug through to pull good stuff out of, and then I started throwing more stuff back into them, so oh well. And I need to make room for these old wheels to sit here for a while. Got somebody that wants them, but I don't know how soon he's gonna buy them. Also found my hacksaw. Haven't seen this thing in a long time. Actually, I may just go ahead and use this to cut the intake with. Ta-da. Son of a bitch. I'm probably beating the shit out of that barb fitting. Oh, perfect. Cut in half. Now I can take the toilet bowl coupler and make it go from being like this to like that. Alright, so here's all the pieces of the intake. This was the original elbow that was attached to the straight section, and then I've got this section. It's supposed to be like curved so the filter will run away from the header or whatever. I'm going to see if I can use it just because it'll look nice on there, but if not, whatever. So now I've got to paint these, and I have just a kind of this stuff I'm going to use on them. I got to clean those up. I have some like carb cleaner or something. I'll just spray on them real quick, wipe them down. I might sand these a little bit and smooth out some of this nasty stuff, and then we'll paint them red and let them dry for a little bit while I work on some other stuff. Alright, well, I tried to get the oil pressure sender out, and I have to buy a special socket to get it off. It uses like a 1 in 1/8 or something like that, 1 in 1/16 inch socket, and it's like a specific length to pop that thing off. So I'm gonna have to get the socket, and I'm gonna have to figure out what pitch the sender that's in there right now is, because I don't think, because it looks, the thread pitch and the size and everything looks way bigger than the adapters that I have. Once I have the oil pressure gauge in there, I'm just gonna remove the sensor completely and not use it. But I did get the intake done, got it painted, hooked back up, and it actually looks pretty nice. Got rid of that ugly blue hose. There you go. I was able to rotate that barb fitting around, get it all hooked up, and then I added that extra elbow, and I got the filter way down there, trying to get it away from the exhaust, and I realized right where it's at, it's right next to a coolant hose. So the cold air intake is more of a hot air intake. In fact, the coolest spot would be up here in this corner, but it wouldn't look as nice, so oh well. Right now I'm going to go in and weld a couple bolts, and for the grounding straps in the trunk, actually bolt them down and not just have self-tappers, which one of them's already backed out and stripped itself out. I'm going to go weld bolts directly to that and then take a nut and just like nut it down. But I don't think I'm going to video that. I'm going to come back out tomorrow, show you guys everything in the daylight, show you guys the new wheels on, because I don't think I've given you like a good shot of how the car looks with the new wheels on. And then I'll give you a quick final update on everything, and then that'll be it for this video, and I'll save installing the oil pressure gauge and the voltage gauge for a later video. Alright, now we've got some daylight to go ahead and show you guys just a couple things in the car, and then that'll be the end of this video. So as you can see right there is the new ground stud bolt thing. It looks like poo because the welder, I was using a really crappy extension cable for the welder, but it holds, it works. I'll probably go in one day and fill it with more weld or Bondo it or something to make it less ugly, but it holds up good, it works. I also flipped the shift knob because before I would hit the radio every time I would shift because it was rotated the other way and sat further forward, so now it sits further backward where I think it's supposed to sit anyway. So there's that, and I got plenty of room between me and the radio regardless of where I'm at, so that's good. Here's a look at the car with the new wheels on it. I think they look way better than the old ones. These are obviously in way better shape, and that's just a better wheel design in my opinion. It looks really nice. I don't know if I showed you, but they've got that sparkle peel coat stuff on them, so they've got like a flake to them. If you look close you might be able to see it, I don't know, but they look really good. And then of course you guys know, I showed it earlier, the upper ball joints on this are pretty shot, especially this one up here, so I'm gonna have to do those in a later video. And I didn't get to do the gauges because I need a special socket, which I'm gonna order on Amazon or eBay or something, and I need a thread adapter as well, so I'll probably do all those in a separate video later on. But let's go ahead and pop the hood. Alright, so there's the new intake and everything all put together. It sits way further down than it used to, and I think it looks a lot better, especially just not being blue anymore. It just looks way cleaner. Got the blue hose gone and a regular fuel hose put in place for the catch can. Have an actual bolt for a drain plug in back here. Everything's pretty dialed up. That's really all I did down here. I don't think I did anything else. And eventually in the future I'm gonna tuck all these wires and redo them for the fans, but they work for now. And then eventually I want to get hood pins in and get rid of the stock hood latch because it's gets in the way of the bumper here. But that'll be for a later date. I also want to get an aluminum overflow container to get rid of this ugly one. I want to thank you guys for watching. Do you like these longer videos, like 20 to 30 minute long videos, or do you like 10 to 15 minute videos? Let me know, or does it depend on maybe the content? So just let me know your opinion. I would definitely like to hear back on you guys, because lately I've been trying to keep videos short, but obviously this one's going to be longer. And if you guys like longer videos, then I'll just make longer videos, especially with how sparse uploads are usually. So anyway guys, like I said, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later.